I had an accident in 2005 at my work and I bashed my leg, and since then I've had nothing but ulcers and infections in my legs. The ulcers come, they go. I've had 10 months where I've had absolutely nothing. I would say in the 10 years I've had probably at least 20 ulcers. So in a lot of pain, and I've had 3 operations to remove veins from my legs. I've had 2 procedures where they would inject foam into your legs to kill off any varicose veins that are left behind. It doesn't make a blind bit of difference. They just keep coming back. It does cause a lot of pain, yes. You've got to take lots of painkillers during the day, but you can't take them all during the day because the pain goes on through the night. So you've got to spread them all out. I have been diagnosed with epilepsy, so I have tablets to take for that. 6 tablets every day. Also to do with my feet, I have anti-inflammatories, because if you don't take them, you feel like the bones in your feet have all seized up, making it difficult to walk. Also, your legs are itchy, so you've got antihistamines to take. Again, you spread them all out. But sometimes even that can't control it. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night, you don't know if it's pain or if it's itching because your legs are just burning. But you're up and down like a yo-yo. Sometimes the only relief you get is to scratch or rub your skin so hard that your legs actually bleed. And then that's when you get the relief. Then you just wash them all, dry them all, go back to bed and you're fine. There's a variety of things that I can't do. The one that really annoys me, I suppose, the most is having a shower in the morning, because you can't get your legs wet from your knees down. So I have plastic protectors to put on, but even putting them on is a struggle. I've got a bath board, so I don't have to stand in the shower, because obviously it's quite dangerous. Plastic things on your legs in the bath, not exactly safe when the bath gets wet. And then it could take me a full hour just to have a shower, you get back out and get dried and dressed. Then you've got the hassle, you've got to try and get down the stairs, which is not easy. So I try and get everything together to get down the stairs, so I don't have to go back up at all for the rest of the day. And then just doing simple things. I mean, I used to be one of these people that like to change my curtains every so often, or go out, cut the grass, just keep myself busy. But I feel now that I'd hardly do anything, because even just getting the hoover out and hoovering downstairs, washing a few dishes, you stand in for an hour doing your ironing. By the time you've done all that, you're knackered for the rest of the day. So yes, it has become very difficult. So the house is not always as tidy as it used to be. Taking the car out is difficult, because I can't get in or out of the car unless the door is wide open as possible, because I've been diagnosed with arthritis in my right knee. I've also discovered that the bone at the top of my fibula, instead of being straight, it's jagged. So getting in and out of the car, you need the door as wide as it goes, which you can't do in a normal space. So you then have to look for a disabled space, or park in 2 spaces where nobody will park next to you. And other people just think you have just a stupid person because you've parked in 2 spaces because you can't park properly, but there's a reason for it. So it is difficult. You've got to think about where you're going and where the wide spaces are. Well, obviously the best form of exercise for me is really to go out walking. But walking isn't exactly easy. You can't walk very far unless you've got something to hold on to. So it was a case of, how was I going to manage this? So I thought, well, obviously I'm a bit young to have a Zimmer frame. So what I did was I bought a pram, which a lot of people find very weird. That way you can push a pram and it looks perfectly normal to other people. If you need to rest, That's fair enough, you can stop and have a wee rest. But then I thought, okay, that's going to look a bit weird if people sometimes have a wee look in your pram. It's going to be a bit strange. This woman out pushing an empty pram. So a number of years ago, I actually bought some fake babies. So I thought, this is what I'll do. I put one of my fake babies into the pram, and therefore it looks like I have a baby in a pram. Nothing wrong with that. Until you bump into one of your neighbours or something, and then you have to try and explain. I've had mixed reactions from this. Some people think it's extremely weird. Other people think that I'm very brave to actually go out with a fake baby in a pram. But at the end of the day, I'm not doing anybody any harm. I'm just out, pushed my pram to help me walk. Oh no, it's much better to have a real baby. Because real babies at least move, and they do make wee noises and things, and you can bring them up, and you know, they're your life. A baby is your life. But if you can't have a real baby, or you're past the stage when you can have a real baby and you still need to go out with a pram, then obviously a fake baby is the answer.
And for cakes, you can...
Yes, I miss having a real baby. I'd be quite happy to have babies all the time. If I could have a baby every year for the rest of my life, I'd be more than happy. I found bringing a child up relatively easy. People said in hospital when I had my son that they thought I must have had a baby at home somewhere because I was very maternal and it just came naturally to me. My baby never cried very much in hospital, and I was in hospital for 10 days. And I had the best behaved baby on the ward. And then when I came out, I found it extremely simple. Obviously, people had to show me how to, you know, change a nappy, make up a feeding bottle or something, but no, I never ever had a problem looking after the baby or dressing it or bathing it. Never. Very, very simple. Well, along the way you get to see your child learn to walk, hear their first word, you get to see them go to nursery and mix with other children, go to school. Other children are screaming when their mothers walk away, and yours is quite happy just to toddle off on their own. And also on Christmas, when they come down the stairs and they open the living room door, and they'll get all excited when they see that Santa's been and left all these presents for them, and you see their wee faces light up. There's loads of things you can experience as you go along the way. Okay, so yes, I was married once and everything was fine. I married this person that would have done anything for me, would have kissed the ground I walked on. Everything went along fine. But sometimes people change when you marry them. I got married and my husband then suddenly decided, you know, in his eyes, women should be at home doing things. Women belonged to their husbands. They didn't have a life of their own. They had to do as they were told. So, yes, I wasn't going to stand for that. It was something I knew I would have to leave at some point, but it's not as simple as that. And then eventually when I had the baby, I caught him shaking the baby, and that was the final straw. I just knew then I had to get out. You can't possibly stay in a house with someone who you can't leave your baby with. So that was the final straw for me, and that's how I managed to get out. If I knew before I had my son that I was going to be a solo parent and develop all these health problems that I've had and struggle with everyday life, I would definitely still have had him. A child keeps you young, keeps you going. If you didn't have a child, you'd probably sit in the house and mope all day. So yes, having a child is something I would definitely have went ahead and done. And at the end of the day, despite all the problems I've had, there is bound to be somebody out there in a much, much worse condition than me.
Right, say bye-bye now, Daniel.
Bye.